All right, today we are diving deep into one of the most high stakes races on the entire planet. We're talking about a technological arms race that's being fueled by hundreds of billions of dollars, some of the most brilliant minds out there, and this massive ambition to literally build the future of intelligence. And trust me, this is about way more than just chatbots. This is a battle of titans for control of the next era of computing. So, who exactly are these titans? I mean, you've probably heard the big names, right? But their strategies, their origin stories, and, their ultimate goals, they are worlds apart. So let's pull back the curtain and meet the players who are shaping this brand new battlefield. And here they are, the six key players really shaping the entire AI landscape. On one side, you have the company that started it all, OpenAI, and then the established tech incumbents, Google and Meta. But then you have these three fascinating challengers, and they're all carving out their own unique space: Anthropic, Perplexity, and Mistral. Just keep these names in your head because they're basically our roadmap for this whole explainer. Let's kick things off with the company that got this ball rolling. And that company is, of course, OpenAI. You have to understand, they weren't just the first to the party. They basically built the venue, sent out all the invitations, and forced absolutely everyone else to react. I mean, just look at this incredible acceleration. They start out as this idealistic nonprofit in 2015, but by 2019, they figure out they need a massive amount of capital to compete. Then, bam, late 2022, they released ChatGPT. And you gotta get this. This wasn't just another product launch. This was the iPhone moment for AI. It was a true inflection point that changed everything and kicked off this public arms race we're in today. And the result of that iPhone moment? A private valuation of around $500 billion. Just let that sink in. It's a completely staggering number that shows you just how much value the market thinks they've created in such an unbelievably short amount of time. So, the crucial question is, how did they pull this off? Well, it really comes down to three things. First, their models are still the gold standard. They're what everyone else measures themselves against. Second, because they were first, millions of developers are now kind of locked into their ecosystem. And third, that partnership with Microsoft, it gives them an absolutely unbeatable distribution channel into pretty much every business on Earth. But as you can imagine, the launch of ChatGPT sent absolute shockwaves through Silicon Valley's biggest castles. It forced the established tech giants, Google and Meta, to wake up and fast and figure out how to respond. Now, here's the wild part. The real irony of this whole situation. Google's own researchers actually invented the core transformer technology that makes all of this possible, way back in 2017. But they kept their own models locked away in a lab, mostly because they were worried about the reputational risk. Well, ChatGPT's launch triggered what was internally called a code red, a frantic, all-hands-on-deck panic to mobilize their incredible resources and defend their search empire. Meta's story, on the other hand, is just a masterclass in strategic thinking. Their first model, Llama, it actually leaked online. But instead of fighting it, they did something brilliant. They just leaned in. They embraced the leak and decided to basically weaponize open source, giving away these incredibly powerful models for free to disrupt the leaders. And this slide just illustrates their two completely different playbooks perfectly. Google is playing defense. They're trying to control the entire stack, from the research labs to the computer chips to products like search, all to protect their turf. Meta, though, they're playing offense. They're actively trying to commoditize the entire market, making it cheaper for everyone, just to prevent anyone else from building a monopoly. Why? All to power their future social and metaverse ambitions. But look, this isn't just a story about a couple of giants. A whole new wave of specialized startups has popped up, and each one is attacking a specific weakness of the big guys, and they're bringing a whole new set of rules to the game. First up, we have Anthropic. And its origin story is absolutely crucial here. It was founded by top researchers who actually defected from OpenAI because they had these fundamental disagreements about AI safety. They really believed there was a different, more responsible way to build this stuff. Their big idea is something they call constitutional AI. Now, it might sound complicated, but the concept is actually pretty simple. Instead of just learning from human feedback, the AI is trained with an explicit set of principles, like a constitution, to make sure its behavior is helpful, harmless, and aligned with our values. This is their core differentiator, both philosophically and technically. And their strategy was just brilliant. They went out and pitched themselves as the responsible, safety-first choice for huge companies that don't like taking risks. And by taking massive investments from both Google and Amazon, they cleverly became the premium go-to alternative on every major cloud platform that isn't Microsoft. Okay, next up is a company that decided, you know what? Let's not build a better chatbot. Let's go directly after the heart of Google's empire, search. So meet Perplexity AI, the answer engine. The genius of Perplexity was its laser focus. Instead of some vague chat, it gives you direct, summarized answers to your questions. And, this is the crucial part, it shows you its sources with citations. This basically solves the hallucination problem, where AIs just kind of make stuff up. That makes it an incredibly powerful tool for anyone doing research or looking for facts. And finally, we have the European powerhouse Mistral AI. This company, founded in Paris, just burst onto the scene and has been moving at a breathtaking speed. They're building some of the most efficient yet incredibly powerful open source models in the world, and they're proving that you do not need to be in Silicon Valley to compete at the absolute highest level. So what's their secret weapon? It's an architecture called Mixture of Experts, or MOE. Okay, think of it like this. Instead of going to one general doctor who knows a little bit about everything, you go to a team of specialists. When you ask a question, your question is routed only to the most relevant expert. This makes their models incredibly fast and much, much cheaper to run. It's a total game changer. Okay, so we have the first mover, the awakened giants, and these specialized challengers. So what does this intense competition actually mean for the future of AI? Where is this all headed? Well, it all really boils down to these three core tensions. First, you have Meta pushing for an open, shared ecosystem, while OpenAI and Google guard their models like crown jewels. Then you have Anthropic championing safety, while others are prioritizing breakneck speed. And finally, you have Google trying to own everything, while Meta and Mistral are trying to turn the whole field into a commodity. These are the fundamental questions that are being decided right now, in real time. Which brings us to the final and maybe the most critical question. This whole battle isn't just about who has the biggest market share or the best technical benchmarks. The strategies these companies choose, whether they go open or closed, fast or safe, they're going to set the rules for a technology that will profoundly reshape our world. And that really leaves us to wonder, in this race of giants, who gets to decide?